Chapter 1. All is well with Moni. It is a long, steep climb up to the bathhouse at Fideris, after leaving the road leading up through the long valley of Prättigau. The horses pant so hard on their way up the mountain that you prefer to dismount and clamber up on foot to the green summit. After a long ascent, you come first to the village of Fideris, which lies on the pleasant green height, and from there you go on farther into the mountains until the lonely buildings connected with the baths appear, surrounded on all sides by rocky mountains. The only trees that grow up there are firs, covering the peaks and rocks, and it would all look very gloomy if the delicate mountain flowers with their brilliant coloring were not peeping forth everywhere through the low pasture grass. One clear summer evening, 2 ladies stepped out of the bathhouse and went along the narrow footpath, which begins to mount not far from the house and soon becomes very steep as it ascends to the high, towering crags. At the first projection, they stood still and looked around, for this was the very first time they had come to the baths. "It is not very lively up here, Aunt," said the younger, as she let her eyes wander around. "Nothing but rocks and fir woods, and then another mountain and more fir trees on it. If we are to stay here 6 weeks, I should like occasionally to see something more amusing." "It would not be very amusing at all events if you should lose your diamond cross up here, Paula," replied the aunt, as she tied together the red velvet ribbon from which hung the sparkling cross. "This is the 3rd time I have fastened the ribbon since we arrived. I don't know whether it is your fault or the ribbon's, but I do know that you would be very sorry if it were lost." "No, no!" exclaimed Paula decidedly. "The cross must not be lost on any account. It came from my grandmother and is my greatest treasure." Paula herself seized the ribbon and tied 2 or 3 knots one after the other to make it hold fast. Suddenly she pricked up her ears. Listen, Aunt. Now something really lively is coming." A merry song sounded from far above them. Then came a long, shrill yodel. Then there was singing again. The ladies looked upwards, but could see no living thing. The footpath was very crooked, often passing between tall bushes and then between projecting slopes, so that from below one could see up only a very short distance. But now there suddenly appeared something alive on the slopes above, in every place where the narrow path could be seen, and louder and nearer sounded the singing. See, Aunt, there! Here! See there! Exclaimed Paula with great delight, and before the aunt was aware of it, 3, 4 goats came bounding down, and more of them, each wearing around the neck a little bell, so that the sound came from every direction. In the midst of the flock came the goat boy leaping along, and singing his song to the very end. "And in winter I am happy, for weeping is in vain, and besides, the glad springtime will soon come again." Then he sounded a frightful yodel, and immediately with his flock stood right before the ladies, for with his bare feet he leaped as nimbly and lightly as his little goats. "I wish you good evening," he said, as he looked gaily at the 2 ladies, and would have continued on his way, but the goat boy with the merry eyes pleased the ladies. "Wait a minute," said Paula. "Are you the goat boy of Fideris? Do the goats belong to the village below?" "Yes, to be sure," was the reply. "Do you go up there with them every day?" "Yes, surely." "Is that so? And what is your name?" "Moni is my name." "Will you sing me the song?"